All right, people. My camera cut off on me, so I got to do Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant had been drafted in the 2005 or 2006 NBA draft to Oklahoma City Thunder, or you could say OKC for short. At this time, it was him, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, and I can't believe who they had, but at that time, that was the basketball team, and they were called the Seattle Supersonics. And then I think maybe 3 seasons later, they changed it and they moved from Seattle to Oklahoma, and they became the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, at this point in time in history, he stood at 6'10" or 6'11", 235 or 240 pounds, and he was a force of nature. He was bigger, he was stronger, he was faster, and Kevin Durant could come from this door right here and slam dunk to that wall, and he had a long wingspan, and this was a force of nature. This was a player that you didn't want to mess with on the court. The guy could hit three-pointers. He had crossovers. He could block shots. He could slam dunk. He could make his free throws. And you see, during this time period, they were winning basketball games in the season. They would win playoff games in the season. The playoffs. And then by the time we approach, I think, the 2008 NBA playoffs in the first round, who does he lose to in the first round? I think they won the first round against an Asian Phoenix Suns, but in the second round he loses to the San Antonio Spurs. 2009, he gets revenge on the Spurs, but he gets beat in the third round by I think, let's see, Lakers wanted to go back to the finals so bad, so he loses to them. And then we get to the 2010 no, that was San Antonio, my bad. 2010, he loses. They win the first round, they win the second round, but they lose the third round to the Los Angeles Lakers. And I remember in that game, Kevin Durant put up like 35 points in that game, but Kobe wanted to go back to the finals, so they lost. And then we get to the 2011 NBA playoffs, and that year, he takes out the Lakers in the first round. Second round, they knock out San Antonio finally. Third round, they lose to the Dallas Mavericks in a 5-game or 6-game series. And it was kind of sad to see Kevin Durant get this close to the finals, but it didn't happen. And it wasn't until 2012 that he finally makes his way back to the NBA finals. First round, knock out the Lakers again. Second round, knocks San Antonio out. Third round, knocks Houston Rockets out. Because the Clippers got beat by somebody else at that point. And then advance to the NBA Finals to take on the Miami Heat. Now, this series stands out to me because to this day I felt like Kevin Durant was this close, once again, of seizing the moment. Trying to win his first NBA championship. And what was so surreal about it is Miami won the first game as expected. Oklahoma responded by taking games 2 and 3 from Miami, and the series lead was 2-1. Next thing I know, it was game 4, and Miami won a game, and the series was like tied, or should I say not tied? No, they took 3 games. Oklahoma City Thunder took 3 games in a row, and the series lead was 3-1. And then all of a sudden, we see LeBron make this huge legendary comeback. They take game 5. They take game 6. They tie it up. It's 3-3. They go to a game 7. And there were at least 7 to 8 opportunities in that game for Kevin Durant to finish off the Heat and win his first championship. In that game, Russell Westbrook dropped 40 points. Kevin Durant, for some reason in that game, he dropped 30 points, but he just couldn't get the ball to go in. And Miami won their first title, and we saw Kevin Durant break down and started crying because he couldn't believe that he had lost to LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And this was LeBron James still in his prime, basically. And of course, we get to the 2013 NBA playoffs. That year, they knocked off Dallas Mavericks. They destroyed San Antonio. in the playoffs, but who stumps them out? Who who puts them down for the count at that time? The San Antonio Spurs. Well, I take that back. They had a chance to win that series too, but for whatever reason, Kevin Durant was injured in that series. They didn't want to tell nobody, but he was hurt. So I take that back. I would say second round, they knocked off them Clippers. And the third round, they had a 7-game series with San Antonio. At that time, there was a lot of questions. San Antonio's too old. They can't do it in 2013. And they knock off Kevin Durant. And it was a blow to Kevin Durant. 3 years in a row, I was so close to the finals. Finally, we get to the 2014 NBA season. And they made quick work of the Clippers in the first round. They find themselves in a 7-game series with Golden State. But when they get to that third round, again, Kevin Durant loses to the San Antonio Spurs again. And the Spurs advance to what? The 2014 NBA Finals to win their 5th NBA championship against a rematch of LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And then we finally get to the 2015 playoffs. So this time, the Lakers ain't going to no playoffs. So the first round, they're going up against Houston. Second round, they're going against the Clippers. Third round, what do we see Kevin Durant go through? Losing to the Golden State Warriors. Embarrassingly, he loses to them. But again, he was hurt. And we all know Golden State won the title because they knocked off Cleveland when LeBron came back. And then in the 2016 playoffs, Cleveland won the championship that year. And then finally we get to that year where he loses to the Golden State Warriors in 7 games. And what people wanted to see was an NBA Finals rematch between LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And Golden State knocked them off. And of course, we get to 2017. Kevin Durant is with the Golden State Warriors and wins his first NBA championship. And then, of course, we get to 2018. He wins back-to-back NBA championships. Yeah, that's a lot to say in this video. Now, why should Kevin Durant be considered a better player or more skilled? Because he's going to become a better basketball player. Now, some people say that he will surpass LeBron James. If he ain't already has, he soon will. There's no telling how good he'll get. Now, when he was with OKC, the difference between him being in OKC was he was too pass aggressive. He was too nice. He would defer the basketball to Russell Westbrook too much. But when he goes to Golden State, we see a different Kevin Durant. We see a Kevin Durant blocking shots, slam dunking the ball, hitting the three-pointer, got crossovers. It didn't matter if it was 2 people guarding him, 3 people guarding him, hell, 4 people would guard him, and he still hit a 3 on your ass. And he turned into Michael Jordan in his prime. And whatever prison or jail he went to, it manned him up. And it's like he put LeBron James in the straitjacket. And I'm like, is this the same guy that I'm seeing? The guy that we saw that lost to Golden State in 7 games, it ain't that guy. This is a different Kevin Durant. Now, if you take Kevin Durant out of this system and you put him in the system that David Robinson was, he become a far more dangerous basketball player than he already is. If you think what you saw on the court was insane, it'd be even more insane because he would be putting up even huge, monstrous numbers. And if you take David Robinson out of the system here and you put him in today's NBA, he would just dominate the game of basketball. So normally I don't do this in sports videos, but I'm probably going to say this is a tie. And I'm going to tell you why I would say this is a tie. Because at this point, what else can we possibly say that hasn't already been said? I'm pretty confident and I'm pretty sure that it's a tie because David Robinson showed that he could hit 3-pointers. A lot of people thought he could just block. He could just, slam dunk and get rebounds. But he had shooting power. And when Kevin Durant got traded from OKC to Golden State, he showed that he could adapt at a different position and still compete at a high competitive level. So you got my take. I have two videos. Part one's about David Robinson. Part two is about OKC and Golden State. So the Seattle Supersonics, when there was the Seattle Supersonics, they only won one NBA championship, but that was when Brent Barry's dad played with the Sonics. And with OKC, they made it to the finals, but they didn't win no title. And it's not until he goes to Golden State where he wins back-to-back championships. So, yes, two videos. Part one's about David Robinson. Part two's about Kevin Durant. So, I hope you love this video. Peace.